previous video, we learned what the toolbar is and what are the tools in it. We also learned in depth what each tool does. In this video, we'll learn about the object mode, the options under the view, select, add, and object tag. So right now we are in object mode. There's 6 modes that you can see. There's object mode, edit mode, sculpt mode, vertex plane, weight plane, and texture plane. For now, we'll be sticking to object mode and edit mode. Let's begin with the object mode. As you can see, this view that you're presented by default is in the object mode. So now we'll begin with the view tab. So under the view tab, you'll see some familiar names, the toolbar. So you can also see that there's the shortcut key T, and there's another tab, the sidebar, which is hidden by default. You can show it by dragging the arrow right next to the viewport or by pressing the N key on a keyboard. Then we have the tool settings. There is the gray bar right above the viewport. The next tab is the select tab. Under the select tab, there's the all option. As the name suggests, it's used to select all objects in the scene. So previously, none of the objects were selected, and now all the objects are selected after I press the all option. I could also use the shortcut key A to select everything in the scene. Then there's none. So if I have quite a lot of objects selected, I could simply select the none option and all the objects will be selected. I can also use the shortcut key for this, Alt A, so A to select and Alt A to deselect. Next, we have the invert selection. So this is used when you want to select something apart from the existing selected ones and deselect the existing selected ones. So right now I have a cube and a camera selected. But if I wanted the lamp to be selected, I click on invert and it would make the deselected ones selected and the selected ones deselected. And then there's a couple of other options like the box select, which is same as the selection box that we use in the beginning, and the circle select also. There's also selecting objects based on the type. So if it's a mesh, you select it by that type. So if you have a very complex scene consisting of multiple types of objects, you could just specify what you want to select and you could select that alone. The next tab is the add tab. So under the add tab, we have the mesh, curve, surface, metagon, and various other options. The shortcut for the add tab is Shift A. So you can add a plane, cube, sphere, circle, icosphere, torus, a lot of shapes. So each of these shapes are made of vertices, and these vertices are what we manipulate to actually model these primitive shapes into something actually meaningful or something that represents another object in the real life. So as you can see, I'm adding multiple objects to the scene just to show what each object looks like in Blender. You can also shade objects smooth. So in case of a sphere, you want it to look smooth most of the time. So you enable shade smooth, which will make it look more like a sphere. And then there's the icosphere. It's similar to the sphere but has triangulated faces. Then we have a cylinder. And for all of these meshes, we can manipulate them when we add them in. So as soon as we add an object in, we can manipulate their object data. So on the left bottom of the screen, there will be this tab where you can manipulate the vertices, uh, radius, and other parameters. Here, this pertains to the cone, but on other primitive shapes also will have similar parameters in respect to the particular shape. So here, in case of the cone, increasing the vertices makes it look less like a pyramid. So if I were to increase the vertices, it becomes more smooth. And increasing or decreasing the base size uh, makes it more broad, and the top size will make it less like a cone. And let me just clear everything so it's more organized and visible. There's also a torus. So a quick example to demonstrate how this would be used would be to make a donut. So if you wanted to form a donut, you just, because it has a structure which is very close to that of a donut. So on adding a torus, you'll have the options menu again, which you can use to manipulate the inner ring diameter and the outer ring diameter. So manipulating these two will have different effects. If you were to increase or decrease the outer ring, or that is the major radius, then it would increase the size of it. Whereas increasing or decreasing the minor radius would make it so that the inner ring or the hollow area becomes smaller or larger. All of these parameters again apply to the each and every shape available in Blender. So you can manipulate them once you add them in. However, if you click somewhere else right after using the add tab to add a mesh into your scene, then the menu tab used to manipulate the parameters disappears. So if you wanted to manipulate any parameters, you have to add the object once again into a scene. Then we have a lot of other options in the add menu. For now, we'll just stick to the mesh. There's text also, which we'll cover that later. So there's lighting, camera, reference image under the image option. The empty is also a very handy object. Then there's reference again. So the reference is like say you wanted to reference something in real life. You have a photo of it in flat picture. So what you can do is you can load it into Blender and use that. The next tab we have is the Object tab, under which we have Transform, which you're familiar with, Move, Rotate, Scale, Transform. These tools we had covered in the previous video. The next option under the Object um, tab will be the Set Origin. The set origin is used to manipulate the object with respect to its origin point. So the center point, the yellow dot you see is the origin. So first to see this effect, what we'll do is tab into edit mode and change the location of the object. So one thing to note is that when you change the position of the object in edit mode, its origin stays where it was in the beginning. So now the origin is in the center of the axis. So right now you see that it's in the center. Now I want to bring the origin to the cube. So what I did was I selected set origin and origin to geometry. Next I want to bring the origin to the 3D cursor once again at the center of the grid. So what I do is origin to 3D cursor. Orange dot is in the center. Now I want to bring the cube to the center. So I do geometry to origin and the cube is at the center.